You've probably gathered by now one of our key focuses in motorsport is driver development. To be able to bring young talent into the sport and to drive them through the categories as quickly and as effectively as possible and making them become the best driver they could possibly be. Gilmore Racing is where we are today, and obviously Formula 3 is the key to Gilmore Racing. But what we've managed to do is develop KCK Racing Australia. And this has enabled us to bring all of the teams we work with together into one place to let drivers move between teams, between categories, and step up the ladder as quickly as possible, seamlessly as possible, and cost effectively as possible, helping them develop and hone their skills and get to their goal, whether it be supercars or to do Europe or IndyCar in the States. We've just about got a path to get them there every time. But what has been key for us, and is often the first step out of go-karts for a young driver, is Formula Ford. And what we've managed to do in conjunction with WLM Motorsport is add a Formula Ford to our driver development program. This will be used to teach drivers the basics, racecraft, and a good stepping stone straight out of go-karts into one of these, learn the gears, learn the feel of the car, learn the racecraft with other cars around them, and then from there progress into Formula 3 or in other directions depending on what they want to achieve. Recently acquired the car, it's just been delivered, but what we need to do is get this thing race ready. It is a competitive car, it is a current spec car, but we just need to know what we've got. We've bought a used car and we've got to treat it as a used car. So today, in the workshop at Gilmore Racing, we're going to strip this thing down, see what we've got. It had a massive puddle under it this morning, it's got no engine oil in it, no coolant, so it's obviously got issues there somewhere. We need to find out what we've got, get it sorted, and get this thing race ready. So let's get it apart. After only a couple of hours, this is what we're left with. We've got the car pulled down to about where we need it. We've got to the bottom of the engine oil leak, we know what that is. We've also found some other little niggling problems, broken brackets and wrong bolts and wrong nuts, you know. But also frayed seat belts. Now the seat belt comes through this little firewall section here, and the hole's not big enough. So it's rubbed almost halfway through that seatbelt, and that's really unforgivable. That's driver safety right there. It's a critical part of the safety feature of the car is the seatbelt, and it's just about cut in half. So I'm really happy that we found that, and we'll modify this cover so we know that it never happens again. Everything else looks pretty good. The body works a bit tatty, but that's because it's been raced. It's been over ripple strips, it's hit stuff. So we'll take care of the bodywork, we'll get that cleaned up. We'll give this a wash now, thoroughly check all the welds. These are common for breaking welds, it's just in the nature of the car. Putting new spark plugs in it, an engine service. We'll pull the gearbox apart a little bit later today. The engine oil leak, not the end of the world, it was just an O-ring. The oil hoses are starting to perish and come apart, but just those O-rings are fretted and let go. Now those suction screens, really cool idea, and almost always they're full of engine sealant. Whether they put too much sealant on the cam cover gasket or the sump, it always ends up in those suction screens, which helps the pump. You know, it's not going to wear the pump out or damage the pump. It's going to just pick it up in the suction screens, and when somebody finally pulls it apart, they can clean that sealant out of the screen and off we go again. Other than that, everything else is really cool. It's what we're hoping for, you know, so just maintenance stuff, just tidying things up, little bits and pieces as we go along, and keeping our eyes open and looking for stuff that might have been missed in the past. The nose box threads are all cross-threaded and stripped. There's a missing intake manifold bolt because the thread's stripped in the cylinder head. We'll fix them up, we'll get on top of it all, because we want to be able to put young drivers in this, take them to the track, focus on their driving and developing the driver, not spending the whole weekend keeping the car running. We want something that's sorted, good to go, so the driver can get in there with confidence and we can build on the driver's skills. We'll keep going on now, we'll keep doing what we're doing, we'll get this cleaned up, we'll see what else we can find, and then it's assembly time.